Hey everybody, this is Smashing Game Time. We are three brothers who go through the back catalog of gaming's past. I am your host, Nick. Down to my bottom left, that is Jake.
Hi,
Jake. To my left, that is Josh.
This is Smashing Game Time. We're the three brothers who go through the yesteryears of video games.
That's my thing. So today we're doing 2012 Q4. We're finally getting out of this toilet of a year. And then we also got a Speedcap for sleeping dogs. Jake will be doing that. I will be the quiz master. We'll talk more about punishment and game on that one. As always, we are a Trident Network podcast. Go check out our siblings. Rate and review us on Apple or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Give us 5 stars, please. We are hungry. We are star malnourished over here.
Well, speak for yourself. I mean, I'm pretty fat, so.
Josh is eating those stars. He will not let us keep them. What has everybody been up to?
I've actually been playing the Modern Warfare 2 beta.
Modern Warfare 2 beta. How is it? Is it still, are the kill streaks still like custom, or did they kind of get back to the, oh right, we just want to do 357. We're not going to be silly anymore.
Well, I mean, Modern Warfare 2 didn't do 357.
Yeah, no, Nick, it's more like you just pick the 3 you want. So
okay, so it's still doing that. Because the 4 just did 357, and then since then it's just been custom kill streaks.
Yeah, so it's still that. I've enjoyed it so far. I don't know if I would say I would drop the $60 right off the bat, just based on how they only give you one pistol. They give you like a handful of assault rifles, one shotgun, one sniper. So like it's nothing like spectacular. Like you're not gonna be like, oh man, this is like the greatest beta in the world, because obviously it's a beta. But for what it is so far, it's not bad, and it's kind of making me think I kind of want it.
Wait, people
but
had
if
to
got it'd be PC.
People had to drop $60 for the beta, or are you just talking like in general?
In general, like was it October when it comes out, I think?
Okay, you had me worried.
I don't want to drop $60 just yet. I kind of want to keep playing it and kind of see how it does upon release before I'm like, take my money until the next Call of Duty, which I think they said is in 2 years. I think this is the start of the bigger gap, isn't it?
Yeah, because so Modern Warfare is this year, and then they're taking a break next year. I'm sure next year will just be like a big concentration on Warzone, and just that, right?
Since Warzone 2.0 comes out in November.
Yeah, I said Warzone, and then I would assume DLC for Modern Warfare.
Because Modern Warfare, is that Infinity Ward or is that Sledgehammer? Who is doing this?
That's a great question. Let me double check.
Doesn't the logo pull up when you play it?
I think it's Infinity War, but I don't pay attention to that, Nick. You're asking the wrong question. I pay attention to the details of the story and the graphics. I don't give a shit.
Did you hear the most important word in that? Did you hear the word carrying all the weight in that sentence? The detail.
No one asked you. No one asked you, all right? And I'm looking for it still. Give me a second. Jake, what are you playing right now currently? I'll look this up.
Rust. Rust has actually been very fun for me. I've been learning like stuff in the game that I haven't really tried to learn, like the electricity aspect in the game. I kind of want to like go into the car business in the game. I think that'd be kind of fun because you really don't see that nowadays.
Wait, car business? Like you can
build a car and like have like a garage, and a lot of people do like dealerships. It's so funny.
What are video like? Hey, you can't own your own car dealership. Come build one on Rust.
I was watching one where Nardo was doing like admin trolling with the car dealership, and he would sell these guys cars that like he had a trigger, so like they would blow up. It's really funny. But yeah, Rust has been fun. I kind of played a little bit of Brawlhalla and Multiverses. TFT, kind of just the grind on those. But Rust has been most of my day. Like it's been fun.
Jake's hitting those usual spots.
Yep, the
usual itch. Josh, are you still researching over there?
It keeps trying to pull up like the original Modern Warfare 2, but when I pulled up like the website, it tells me both Treyarch and Infinity Ward and Activision.
Okay, Activision's the publisher, Josh.
Well, I'm aware of that, but I'm saying it shows all 3.
Okay, well, guess what? It was a trick question. It's all 3.
No what? Nick, what did you do this week? Let's hear you.
All right. So I'm reviewing a.
Don't care.
Ow,
really,
damn, dude,
guys, let's start this year.
You can't drop a don't care on the podcast. That is anti-podcast right there, my good friend.
I'm gonna rate us 1 star.
It's anti podcast. So why are you pulling that up there?
Holy shit! What is this energy you guys are bringing today? I don't like this at all. All right, everybody, that was no. So I've been playing No Place for Bravery. I'm reviewing that right now for Game Chronicles. It is a 2D top-down, very pixelated art looking Souls-like. Is it a Souls-like or a From Software-like now? Because they've got so many games that aren't considered Souls games.
Technically, if it's like along that lines, it is still considered a Souls-like.
Souls-like, okay. I think I like a From Software-esque.
If you're gonna go like from a From Software, it'd be like the way that they design, like their gameplay, like how it looks. Like if you look at like a Dark Souls or like how they actually look, that would be a From Software. Where as far as actual game mechanics go, that is Souls-like.
Souls-like, okay. So playing that's been pretty fun so far. I'm still working on that review. Ran into a bug there, but been working with the devs to get it fixed so I can recover my save and get back into the game. And then I don't know how much I can talk about it, but I'm playing Moon Scars, which is a Metroidvania, very artsy looking. I sent you guys.
So jealous of you, by the way.
That's actually I think that's a day one on Game Pass if you have Game Pass when it comes out.
Mine actually expires here soon.
Speaking of Game Pass, I actually have some rewards from Discord
for Game Pass.
For Game Pass. If one of you guys want Game Pass, let me know.
Well, I've already got it, but I'm telling you, if we all get Game Pass, our Game of the Year conversations at the end of the year are going to be so much easier.
Well, I'm totally game for when they do the family stuff. I'd definitely join on and pay for my half.
Josh, I saw that you were reviewing a port for a game that came out earlier this year, I believe.
Yes.
Can you talk about it?
I think I can because it's just a port. It's already been released. Everybody knows what it is.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you could talk about the differences between the ports.
Even by the time this comes out, my review will already be up. So
okay, how is it on the PS5? I hear it wasn't so hot on the PC, so that's why I'm wondering.
It's not good. So similar issues. Like it's like basically. You know how a developer will release a game, they'll get all this feedback, they'll fix it throughout the however many years it takes or time month wise to fix.
Right.
It's like they just went ahead with the original copy, copied and pasted it, made some adjustments for the PS5, and then sold it as is.
Can you elaborate? Like, what are some issues you're running into?
A lot of the similar issues I run into is the combat is very slow. The AI has to like take a second to think about what it's doing before it actually does it. The frame rate skips like freaking beyond crazy. Like I can't.
Now is that an issue with like how you're running it? Like, because a lot of those games come out and they're running for not for performance but for
graphics or for
frames or whatever it is.
That's what I thought it was, and then I went into the options, and guess what? I have no way of controlling that.
Oh, they don't let you mess with the settings. I remember seeing like Biomutant on Steam before it was for sale. And I remember thinking it looked really fucking cool. Like it looked really awesome. It kind of gave me like Beyond Good and Evil vibes back when I first saw it. And then I remember watching it after it came out, and everyone who played it just looked like they were like about to shit their pants. They were that bored.
Yeah, like I've never been so disappointed in a game ever. Like just watching so like remember the trailer we got when it first came or it was coming out?
I think so, yeah.
It starts off with like the little furry guy, he's bent over looking at the pond. All of a sudden that huge panda looking thing comes out of nowhere and they fight. So it does that and you're like, okay, it looks really good. And then you get into the actual, like literally the first 5 minutes of the game is that. And it's, oh my god, it's hot garbage. And the training, like the walkthrough, like holding your hand training is awful. It took like 15, 20 minutes to get through it. And then when you're finally done, it literally holds your hand every second of the way. I feel like it's Breath of the Wild. Yeah, if you guys have played Breath of the Wild, you start in like the plateau, and you have to get like the glider to be able to go down and do explore the rest of the Hyrule. Mm-hmm. Imagine the plateau is the whole map.
Yay.
Putting your hand consistently.
Well, wasn't it Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess that had like an hour-long tutorial?
I think it's Twilight Princess.
So yeah, whenever anyone complains about a bad tutorial, my mind always goes back to that.
Yeah, it's that. I mean, just it's all in all. Like, even if I can't remember if Biomutant is a small developer. I'm pretty sure it is, but even for a small developer, you would think like, oh, you would look at your game and go, at least in some aspect, like, hey, this is not releasable. Like, we need to do some touch ups and make things a little bit smoother, combat a little bit better.
I think it was a pretty small team. I think you're right on that.
And like, I understand like the logistics of it. Yeah, you have a very small team. You have a dead set window. You're trying to make money. I get it. I totally understand. But you would think that somebody in that group would have gone, guys, there's no way this is going to be ready. Instead of focusing on the the graphics and the detail, we need to start on the things that matter most, which is the gameplay. And they just, in my opinion, they did.
Yeah, if it's not fun to play, like what are we doing here, guys? You can make it look as pretty. It can be the prettiest girl at the ball. If she doesn't dance, we're not going to have a good time.
And it's not. They, honestly, they spent more money and more time on the CGI minute trailer than they did anything else.
Playing anything else besides that in Modern Warfare 2?
Nope, that's it. Well, actually, I take it back. I've been running back through all of Kingdom Hearts because I've been bored.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Sorry for your loss of time there.
No, it's been a wonderful time. I officially platinum 1. I said fuck Chain of Memories because that shit takes forever, and I went straight to 2.
God damn it. I do have one more game I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of it. Fortnite. Guys,
Of course.
I think
Nice.
Fortnite's in its golden age right now.
Did you get that one taunts or emotes where you like duck?
Yeah, so that was a free emote. So they had like a bunch of free stuff, and that was a free emote. And I know what you're about to say. Like it made your hitbox completely drop to the ground.
Yeah, I've seen so many videos of people using that shit.
I'm not fast enough to do it. I don't even know if it still works. The new update came out today. They added the ability to go chrome, and when you go chrome, you can turn into a little chrome ball and just zip across the map. And it's the coolest. So like there was a guy who was like chroming, like me and my squad were chasing him down, and then he chromed and he was like running away, and I was like, oh hell no. So I chromed up, and it was like he was a little ball and I was chasing him as a little ball. It was a high speed chase, and you can like, if you press the trigger, you jump back into your normal person form. It's kind of like the T-1000 in Terminator 2, kind of like that.
Now the update today, was that like for the new season?
New season, so the map's pretty much the same. There's like a few spots on the east side of the map that have had some transformation. There's a lot of chrome stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Which seems to be the theme of the map. The major skin is Spider-Gwen, which is pretty cool.
I would say Spider-Gwen, yeah, because the season's like what, Paradise?
Paradise. Ironically, I watch a lot of the kids Spider-Man show with Gus, and Spider-Gwen's on there, so that's pretty cool that now Spider-Gwen is here. It's a fun season so far. I'm still figuring out the weapon meta, but that remains to be seen. I'm sure there's something that's overpowered on there. I just haven't found it yet.
I have to ask this because obviously it's been a long time since I've played it.
Yep.
Is building still a huge mechanic in the game, or is that officially like starting to die down?
So they have build mode, and then they have no build mode.
So they've officially made that official. There's 2 modes now.
Yeah, there's 2 separate things, and I think a lot more people build no build, just because if you look at like bigger podcasts or like big websites, they're starting to do more Fortnite stuff again, which means SEO is driving Fortnite. So they're like, oh, we're gonna get eyeballs again, get back on the Fortnite. And I think the Dragon Ball Z event from a few weeks ago really helped drive it.
It did, because the Kamehameha Wave was just too overpowered. You see so many clips people use with the Kamehameha Wave. I mean, like, have you seen the one where like people are like, dude, name a game, or this is the best time for Fortnite when you could be LeBron James and Kamehameha Wave somebody.
So I know I'm the only one who's played Fortnite on the regular here. Does everyone have a dream skin in Fortnite? I know I do. My dream skin is Cuphead.
Oh, like one that's like you want in the game?
Yeah. And it's tricky because you might name it and someone might be like, excuse me guys, it's already in the game.
Yeah, because there's a shit ton of because they even have anime in there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing an Ichigo.
They've had Naruto for forever.
Oh, just give it like a couple months once the new the final arc starts.
Yeah,
1,000-year Blood War. I cannot wait. October. We're almost there, people. Keep it up. Anyway, no, I would say Ichigo's a good one. I would say definitely Ichigo. And then for me, I kind of want a Samus. I know it's
No,
Nintendo.
Nintendo is
Oh,
not gonna do that.
Nintendo
Yeah,
be like, get the fuck out of here, kid.
I think like maybe like some Tekken characters since Tekken 8 was announced. I could see them being there.
And they've
Didn't
got
they
Street Fighter in there.
There's Street Fighter.
Yeah,
so
Street Fighter was announced too. Yeah.
I mean, I've got Guile and I've got the girl with pigtails. I forget her name.
I don't know her name.
I don't know her name. What about
But
you?
she's
Jay?
like the.
Oh, you
she's
said
like the
Tekken, you
Harley
said
Quinn.
Tekken.
No, I said Ichigo.
Ichigo.
Guy from Bleach.
Okay, I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, you need to get in your
Ichigo is
anime.
the orange hair guy from Bleach, Black Sword, big
Wait,
huge.
Nick
it's
Carter
called
Jr.
Bleach and his hair is red.
That's actually orange.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nick, have you even watched Arcane?
No, I haven't. The only
It's so
League of
good.
Legends thing adjacent thing I've seen is players. You know this.
Watch Arcane.
I need to
You don't
finish
even have
Cobra
to be a
Kai.
fan.
I need
So
to finish
good.
Cobra Kai first.
The season finale is like 48 minutes, by the way.
I mean, I expect it. At least it's not 2.5 hours like Stranger Things.
Yeah, that was
Ridiculous. Like you guys.
But the next season of Stranger Things is the last season. It's probably gonna be like a 4-part thing.
If any characters die in Stranger Things Part 5, I hope it's the long episodes. All right, you guys.
I'm trying to hype train, but anyway,
Are you guys ready to finish 2012?
Let's do it. Let's end this shitty year.
Let's fucking do it. Q4. All right, first up, October 2nd, Resident Evil 6, or as I like to call it, Resident Evil Draft Getting a Blowjob.
What?
What? Yeah, I don't.
You guys,
I don't. Where's?
you guys don't know this? You guys don't know this meme? I'm the only one who knows this meme.
Yeah, I don't.
So if you look at the 6 on the Resident Evil 6 logo, go
Oh,
ahead and
I
pull it
did
up.
see there. I saw that meme on Google and I ignored it because I was like,
It looks
"What
like
is this?"
No, look. It was just
Oh,
on the.
I see it.
It was just
I
there.
see it.
Jake's
I
like,
see
oh
what
god,
you're
I
talking
see it. It looks
I
like a
can't
giraffe
unsee
getting a
it anymore.
blowjob.
Yeah.
So
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
we get.
So
Okay,
this-
Josh. Let me show you, Josh.
Oh, Josh hasn't seen it. Go ahead and show him real quick. He needs to see this so he can
Yep.
fully appreciate the
You
conversation.
can't. Now
we're
you
about to
can't
have.
unsee it. Now you can't unsee
So
it.
while you do that, Jake, Resident Evil 6, the follow up to 5, they stuck with the third person, but they did a weird thing. Like the camera isn't like locked behind you.
Excuse me, goddamn.
They can't.
That was funny.
This is their first go about at like a fully like free. It's free camera for the most part. It feels like.
I mean, it kind of starts on the back, but yeah, it's more of a free roam.
And when they announced this seemed really cool. Like this whole Leon scenario where you're at the college and you have to protect the president and there's zombies.
It comes back, yeah, like or a version of the T-virus. Yeah, like that was. I think that was the reason everybody got so hyped for it because it's like we're going back to back to the original Resident Evil concept of there being zombies, which honestly is probably still the only saving grace for this whole entire game.
And they did 3 separate story arcs with 2 characters in each. It was very heavy on the co-op. This felt like it was a very big thing, or it should have been a very big thing. Like they were building up to this big awesome thing, and this game just fucking booty.
Yeah, it didn't do well. Like I just remember, like you said, like it was very hyped. Everyone's like, "Oh, like we saw Resident Evil 5. What more can they do?"
No, they went
And-
from. Oh, you're good,
Yeah.
Bishop.
Yeah,
I was gonna
it's-
say-
ugh.
I was just gonna say they went from punching a boulder as hard as you can to get through to, hey, we're gonna have Chris and Leon basically hate each other and zombies are back, and everybody's just like, holy fuck, yes, let's go for it. And then we got this.
Well, and that's the thing about 5. Like 5, there was a concern with 5 because it kind of had some racist undertones in it, but also 5 was very campy, but it leaned into the camp. So like it was like, okay, well, he's punching the boulder, fucking whatever. But then you get to this and you're like, oh no, this is going to be like an upgrade from 5. Like 4 was great. This is going to be amazing. And then it sucked. I think the only good thing that came from this is that they fucking had to pull their head out of their ass and be like, all right, Resident Evil 7, what are we doing? And
Go back to the true horror. The whole true horror, dear God.
the rest is it. Like this is the most anime ass Resident Evil I've ever seen.
So yeah, exactly. They hit every trope with it. So you had your zombies. That's a very big, like when it comes to horror anime, that's like one of the bigger things. They had the amnesia main character. Chris had amnesia.
Who am I?
Or PTSD.
No, well, it was, yeah, very much both, whatever. We had the main character who got godlike powers and then dies.
Is that Wesker's kid?
No, that's actually the Chris's partner.
Oh yeah, he
Just ends up injecting himself with whatever the virus is in the game. I can't remember now, but basically he turns himself into like a super weapon, and that's what you see is him and Chris fighting off like one of the big final bosses with this anime power, and then he ends up like sacrificing himself.
And I hear that's the biggest hitting like death because people actually like him.
Yeah, he was. I mean, at first I think he was kind of whiny.
Yeah, but then he gets. I think once like you get more into the game, he actually gets a lot better. Because I think there's actually one scene where you're in a jet, isn't it? Like someone's in a Harrier and you're fighting one of the monsters.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best. I mean, I don't remember many of the bosses, but I remember the snake one being hard on Chris's campaign.
Well, that's the thing that's bugged me about these like 4, 5, and 6. Like 4 was guilty of this as well. Hey, what if we just combined a bunch of big things? Like remember the U3 fight in 4, like the big, like chimera looking motherfucker and like the cage hanging over like the abyss. Yeah. So just like ridiculous fights like that, and like fucking 5 had you fighting some guy that was the size of a whale on a boat, shooting harpoons at it. And then this game's like, yeah, fuck the anatomy. You're just gonna grow a bunch of extra shit, and then we're gonna.
And that's the best part with Leon's final boss is he can transform. So he can be a human. He can be a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex. He can transform into just about anything. It's just like, how?
At least
with care for that protagonist.
At least with like Birkins and 2, and I know we're splitting hairs because it's all ridiculous fucking video game monster shit. But at least 2 with Birkins, like everything seemed conceivable. Like it was his muscles expanding. His head was like shrunk down onto his chest, like,
and even then he was eating organisms around him to help him grow. It wasn't just like thin air, like I'm gonna grab the atoms and molecules in the air and gain in size. Like
I've got a million tentacles, look at all my tentacles. How'd I get these? Who fucking cares?
And even then, sorry, Jake, go ahead.
I was saying, one of the most annoying bosses in Resident Evil 6, in my opinion, was the one. It wasn't really a boss either because you fought it all the time. It was kind of a mini boss. But when Leon's campaign, when you're in the church with the other survivors,
that is my least favorite trope. The boss that becomes mini bosses later.
Yeah,
I've always hated that. I've always hated that. It just feels lazy. I get why they do it because you don't have time to design all these different enemies. But I think the one who did it best was probably Gears of War, because at least in each of those Berserker fights, like, or not Berserker, Berserker, like there was some kind of different element being played into it. But this is Resident Evil 6. Thankfully, it helped pave the way for 7 and 8. But this is awful.
I still think the saving grace, and for Leon's campaign at least, is the scene where you're in the streets and you have to run from the smoke. Or from the gas.
It's just a gas monster or something?
No, so like they're spreading the virus through like these canisters and they're being released throughout the city. Or New Raccoon City, which is where they're at.
Why would you name a place New Raccoon City?
Yeah, so like they're in like a shopping spot with like I guess what is left of the Secret Services and maybe some of the BSAA, and all of a sudden they see the canisters going off in the streets and like stay inside, close all the doors, and you're seeing all the people that are on the street start to turn into zombies, and they have to like run away from the gas as the zombies are starting to break through all the glass shops and shit.
Well, I mean, like one thing I did like about Resident Evil 6 was that like everyone was kind of like, I want to kick a zombie or a monster. I want to punch them. Like I don't want to just rely on the guns. Whereas the older Resident Evil games, you don't really have any like hand-to-hand combat. This game kind of had that.
No, like, it was just the closest thing they had to it was the knife.
Just give me the guns. You know, if someone sent me a postcard that said, "Hey, meet me in New Raccoon City," I'd fucking throw that postcard away. But I ain't going there. I ain't fucking.
Well, keep it for like the memorabilia and being the fact that you could sell it later on because it's probably worth something.
Oh yeah, I remember New Raccoon City. What a bad idea. It's gone now. Moving on. November 6th, Halo 4. Halo 4, the best Halo to come out of 343 Studios. I said it.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I enjoyed Halo Wars 2.
Hey, I enjoyed 5.
Halo Wars 2 is fine. I'm saying on the shooter aspect. 5 was fine. My issue with 5 is 5 was mismarketed. 5 was marketed as this big awesome Spartan fight, and they maybe kiss once, and then they aren't together at all, and they're like, oh, Master Chief's a bad guy, and like it just never really comes to fruition. And you know, maybe it's one of those games where if I played it now, I'd be like, you know, it's kind of on there. But these Halo games, 4, 5, and whatever Infinity, all make the golden mistake of assuming everybody's read the fucking 100 Halo books that they've put out.
Yeah, the thing they messed up because 5 was the starting point of them trying to get rid of split screen, because they said their excuse for not having split screen was because they wanted multiplayer and their campaign to look crisp, because if they added split screen, it just would have been awful. So they wanted to do all, you know, detailed and graphics in the game.
Now we're not even getting it. Now we're not even getting any type of co-op campaigns. It's just single player and the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is garbage.
Well,
just as much as
they're doing co-op campaign. They just got rid of like the split screen aspect of it for Infinity.
Well, even then, like we still don't have it, right? It's still in being released later next year.
They're still working on it. I think Halo is something that you have to like. I know we're talking about 4, but with Infinity, like I think you really have to, after whatever you're gonna do is done, I think you need to sunset Halo for a little bit, and then maybe in 10 years do another Halo, just because of they've reached Star Wars prequel with the Halo series. I mean, they have, and Halo 4 is fine. Halo 4 felt like a breath of fresh air. They kind of overdid the cloning Call of Duty stuff. They added this. I think this was the first one they had. Yeah, there's the sprint.
Aim down sights,
and you could aim down the sights. The Promethean weapons were fine. The Promethean enemies were fine. People complain about them, but it was a nice change up from just shooting Covenant all the time.
Yeah. I think the only Promethean thing they complained about was just the boss.
Yeah, the Diadact was a cool in principle, but then they went nowhere with him. Like, oh hey, you want a boss fight? What if we just have you crawl towards him at the end?
So like, I think it was like what, 2 scenes you actually interact with him, and the last one is just hot garbage.
Yeah, you're crawling towards him.
Yeah.
The first one is awesome because you don't know that you're letting him out when you let him out, and you're like, oh yeah, then fuck, I did that.
And then he tosses your ass around, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's just very underwhelming. Now, this game is cool in the fact that, like, the ending of 3 was, like, hinting at you floating towards a mysterious planet, and then this was the planet. And the planet just, like, the first time you get on the planet, you're like, oh, what is this? What's going on here? Why? You're attacked by Covenant immediately, and you're like, I thought we got through this shit.
Yeah, I don't think they did more with the Arbiter, didn't they?
So, like, the closest thing they did to it was in when they redid Halo 2, it shows Spartan Locke talking to the Orbiter when they're on their way to one of the planets to follow, like, the leads they got for Master Chief. And, like, he just kind of, like, reminisces about why Master Locke won't stand a chance against him as far as capturing him.
Yeah, I don't think Arbiter has played a really big part since 3. He might have, like, had, like, a cameo. But otherwise...
No, but it cracks me up because he's like, there's a reason they called him the demon. Like, yeah, he's not wrong. He's still a fucking demon. Even in this, like, yeah, he may have crawled towards the final boss, and technically Cortana is actually the one who defeats him, but spoiler alert. But I mean, all in all, like he's a
got an ass. He's got an ass.
I love that the Arbiter is like absent in the back half of these 6 games, and people are like, where's the Arbiter? It's like, you didn't want him when they gave him to you.
Here's the better question. Why haven't we gotten Sergeant Johnson back?
He's dead, Josh. Let it go.
So, well, he died. He technically died in the first one.
Josh, let it go. Oh, he's gone.
I'm just saying. He technically died in the first one.
Listen, I'm one of those guys who plays as the Covenant elites in Halo 2.
Yeah, with your dirty freaking... Your freaking headshots are harder to pull off on you guys. Dirty
Not
cheater.
True. It's actually easier. I want more Covenant. I want more, like, just different. I don't want to be a Spartan in all these Halos.
I'd play a game that follows Arbiter.
Give us more.
It's the Mass Effect issue. It's the, hey, look at this big, enormous fucking sci-fi world. You're going to play as the people.
Let me play like a ragtag group of the Covenant with like grunts and jackals and brutes. Like,
that'd be cool as fuck.
Give me that. That'd be, like, literally, it's literally you playing as a ragtag group of the Covenant, and you're basically just trying to take over a planet. Like they basically sent you there because you're like, your team sucks. We're gonna give you the easiest job in the world, and it ends up being like some big thing. But it's almost like Guardians of the Galaxy, but with
I was
the
gonna say,
Covenant.
I'd play
Halo.
Suicide Squad Halo.
Halo Guardians of the Galaxy, featuring Vin Diesel as any of the aliens that can't speak.
He has, he has to be a grunt. He has to make all the noises they make.
He's either a brute or he's a jackal.
Can we talk about the fact these games just kept making Cortana thicker? They're like, how can we upgrade this AI? And then they just stare down at her butt and they're like, I think we have a way.
I believe the camera adds 10 pounds every time.
They're just like, hey, you know how she was thick in 3? What if we made her dummy thick in 4?
So have you guys? So there's a lot of modders out there, and I've seen it in Halo. I've seen it in Resident Evil. I've seen. Have you seen like where they've done the over expressions, like they increase like their expressions like 150%?
Like with their eyes or something, or
Yeah, like it does with everything, like their mouth and their eyes, and it'll be like at one point they'll be like, like they'll be like weird, contributed people. There's one they did for, I think it was Infinity. It was one of the newer Halos. I can't remember, but every time there's a scene where it has somebody's actual face, it would add 10% every time the camera would cut back to them, and it would gradually increase to show their faces do that.
I also think Infinity's faces were I think they're overexpressed, or the eyes were bad. I remember someone saying something about their faces, like the human faces being weird in that one.
That sounds like Andromeda again.
I was gonna bring that up, but I don't want to be that guy.
Anything else on Halo 4?
Nope.
I think the multiplayer was okay.
The multiplayer was fine. I liked the what they do. They did the story stuff that you could do co-op, Spartan Ops or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That was fun. I really liked that. I wish more people do stuff like that. Up next, November 14th, believe it or not, this game is almost 10 years old. Candy Crush Saga from King Games.
For all you mothers out there.
For all the moms listening, this is for you.
This is for you.
Can you guys guess? For those who don't know, Candy Crush Saga is a puzzle game on your phone where you got to match 3 fruits together. You do combos, there's levels. Can you guys guess how many levels in Candy Crush there are?
Hey, so Andy was playing it for a long time, and I think she got up to like 1,000.
No, there's more than that.
What about you, Jake? What's your guess?
She got up to 1,000, so I'm gonna say like 10. I'm gonna say 5,000.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 14,000.
Jake is closer. As of July 2022, you can play 12,185 levels.
Oh.
And they're gonna keep on updating that shit because the players that are up there, they want to keep them going, because I mean they've had ads. I've seen ads of your typical moms playing this game, and like they made money because they busted their ass getting to that high level. And games like this, just like Toontown, that one that what's his name?
I know Toontown's like a puzzle blocker too, isn't it?
Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Those keep on increasing. Like their levels are never gonna stop.
Well, and when this game first came out, if I remember correctly, they advertised the hell out of this. It was all over the place.
But so they actually didn't advertise it until it came out to iOS. So originally it came out in April of that same year, just on Facebook. So kind of similar to like Farmville and all that.
They were trying to get that Farmville money.
Exactly. So then there was not enough people are playing on here, and then they released it for iOS and Android and all that, and people started losing their minds.
Candy Crush was like, oh shit, people are going to turn on Facebook in about 10 years. Let's get the fuck out of here.
And games like this had clones too, because everyone's trying to get on that
everywhere.
So I mean, King, the company who developed and published it, also did the Candy Crush Soda Saga, the Candy Crush Jelly Saga, Candy Crush Friends. I mean, they have so many of them. It's ridiculous.
So many sagas.
So many sagas.
My favorite saga, Cell Saga.
Cell Saga is a really good one. And these mobile games, like Jake said, you can't toss a rock without hitting one. And like this is around the same time. This was big. Words with Friends, I'm sure, was around this time as well.
It was.
Angry Birds.
Temple Runs at this point, because I think actually Temple Run just recently came out, and I think not even a year later, Temple Run 2 actually comes out. I think it's actually like the first quarter of 2013 that comes out.
Don't forget,
which is
Cut the Rope,
still doing well.
Yeah, so basically freemium games. And if you're like, well, Josh, what's freemium? So if they ever get to a point where you have lives and you run out of lives, and they ask you to either review something or then to pay a certain amount of dollars to get more lives, that's freemium. You don't pay.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't
it's not worth it, guys. Addiction is real. If you need help, there's help.
There's a number.
There is a number.
1-800-BETS-OFF. 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Is it another 100 bets off, or is it another number?
It's always bets off, but it's probably a different number.
Either way, there is help out there, guys. That's a serious thing. I'm not even going to joke about that. Seriously, don't pay for it. It's not worth it.
Anything else about Candy Crush before it crushes my soul?
Don't ever play it. It's honestly, it drives me nuts when Andy used to play it, and I had to help her with levels because she'd be like, I can't do it. I've been sitting here for 5 years on the same level.
Babe, I'm at work. Will you water my farm?
Fertilize my crops.
All right. November 20th, Hitman Absolution. This one came out of nowhere. It feels it was announced, but like there was a big gap between this and Blood Money. Blood Money was I want to say 2006, 2007. So we're looking at about a 6-year gap. This plays pretty similar. I mean, it feels snappier. There's a more coherent story. Though the story is ridiculous because you're fighting. I think it's like an oil tycoon or a guy who's doing clones and shit. And all he wants is $2 million. And this is taking place in 2012. And you're like, all he wants is $2 million? Someone just give this guy his fucking money.
Yeah.
I just remember because you get to a certain point where he's talking about what he wants and he wants $2 million. And even, how old was I? This was 10 years ago, so I was 20. Even me back then, I was like, someone just give this man $2 million. Come on.
But it was relatable to some extent because we do see Agent 47 sell his dual silver ballers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's relatable to some extent. We understand that moment where we're like, fuck, we're broke and we have to go sell something. Yeah, we can relate.
Because this is the one that opens up where you kill Diana, right?
Yes.
Like you go to her house, she's taking a shower, and you kill her in the shower.
You kill her. Spoiler alert.
Josh air quoted for those listening on audio. I mean, I feel like there was because the early Hitman games were very much about hitting zero. Like, oh, hey, you want to do an all zeros run, and this one was not that at all. I don't remember, like the trick on this one was just not getting detected. They didn't do the scorecards at the end, which was completely against the status quo. And I think Hitman has gotten back to it with the recent iteration of it. But I mean, this is still a fun game. The levels were fun, the kills were fun. It just did not feel like every other Hitman. This felt more like
a story, like the movies themselves. That's what it felt more like to me.
Well, on gameplay wise, it felt more like Splinter Cell Conviction.
Yes. Well, that's why I even meant like more like a movie feeling. Like the other ones were more like, hey, you're gonna go kill this guy, and this is how you're gonna do it, and the kills matter. Where in this one, it's more like, yeah, as long as you don't get caught and you gun everybody down, that's all good at the end of the day because you're protecting one person. Her name is Victoria.
And this, this was also around the time where everyone had all the games in the world had detective vision.
Yes.
It's like, oh, there's a mark over here, and you can see it because you're blue vision. I liked it. It was fun. I got my time with it, but then it's not my favorite Hitman game. I'd say number one's Blood Money, number two's Contracts, and then this might be number three. I really haven't spent any time with the newer ones to have an opinion on them.
Yeah, games like these like weren't really my thing because I guess I just didn't have patience at the time, and so I would just try to kill everyone. Go and tell them like, oh, that's how you play it. Well, I'm done. I'm done with this game.
Like literally, the contracts for they're at your funeral, and then you wake up and got them all down. Yeah, that is essentially what everybody wants in a Hitman game. You just give us one scene where literally we can gun down everybody in the place, and it doesn't matter. That's all we want.
I also think this is the only. I think this was the first Hitman game with IDOS under Square Enix, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Square Enix Europe actually.
Square Enix Europe. That's all I have to say about it. It's a fine Hitman game. It just kind of came and went.
For the time, I think it was good. Now it's like you look back, and especially what you get now, and you're like, yeah, it wasn't really that good.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I would.
Still, I would say Hitman's definitely one of the series where you could look at all the games and you're not like completely disappointed. Not many franchises can do that.
They all do something fine. That one, that's just my least favorite. Is what I would say.
But you're always gonna like no matter what franchise you look at, you're gonna have a least favorite still. Like it's impossible not to have a least favorite.
Because if you think back to Blood Money, like. Remember the level where you're at someone's party and like you can either dress up as a clown or you can snipe them from across the street. You can poison their dog. You can show up as the caterer.
You can go into the FBI's car and steal their identity and then shoot or do whatever you want. Yeah, I remember that's honestly the most iconic level of that whole entire game.
Oh, and don't forget remember the opera one too, where you could switch the prop gun for a real gun. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Blood Money is so good. Blood Money is 16 years old now. And it's still so good. So good. Moving on. December 4th, Far Cry 3, a game I have no... the only recollection I have of it is the boss being pretty good.
Yes, so the main villain is fantastic, and people still to this day say it, and it's... I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with it. He's such a good villain. I mean, just in this... And if you're not watching, I apologize, but just this beginning scene where he tells you basically, hey, what the fuck are you still doing here? Fucking run. Like, he's essentially the... What's the word I'm looking for? Or the person I'm looking for. He is the...
Joker?
Essentially he's the Joker of the video game world.
Well, it seems like they did a really good job with this character, and that this is Ubisoft, has been chasing that high ever since, because every one of these games has had like a big bad and they just haven't delivered on it.
No. I think it's because who is it? I can't remember his actual name, but I think it's I can't think of his name. They hired it's Michael. Oh, I think it's on this wiki.
Is it is it Michael Mando from Breaking or Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Dude, he's so good. He's so good. I had no idea that was him.
Yeah, he portrayed him.
Dude.
Yeah, so like he did a phenomenal job portraying him. But just all in all, not only is it just a great character, the story is actually pretty good. Like, it's you and your friends, and I think your brother go out, basically are on this island partying. All of a sudden, you run into his group, they capture you, they're torturing you, you watch your brother and I think one of your friends die. And at all time, it's you trying to rescue your friends while also liberating the islands.
Dude, I kind of want to play Far Cry 3 now that I know Michael Mando's in it.
I think Far Cry 3 is like deemed to be the best Far Cry game.
I feel like 4 probably got close. I feel like people look back at 4 pretty fondly.
Yeah, and that villain wasn't bad either. Like, honestly, I think 4 started the whole twist beginnings. By twist beginnings, I mean if you don't do anything. So, like, in 4, if you don't do anything when you first meet him, after a little bit, he's finally like, okay, I'll let you spread your mom's ashes, and he lets you do it, and you're good to go. End of the game. And then 5, if you don't arrest the main villain, you basically walk away. Game's over. Like, it's one of those, you don't expect it, but just because you just assume you're given a choice, you have to do it. And it's like, no, you could just not do anything.
I feel like 5 just did that because people are like, okay, how are they going to do it this time? And they're like, oh, guys, we have to do it again.
Right.
Well, speaking of like twist things, I mean, did you not know? Was it like number 2, the main bad guy is you from the first game?
Huh. I didn't know that. I just know 2.
It's one of the Far Cry Predator ones, like the ones before they started doing the numbers.
I mean, it could have been. Wait, I know that like you played as the bad guy in one of the games. Forget which one it was. I actually watched a video about this.
Didn't 2?
Wait, so you play as the villain, or you're playing?
So like
this fights the villain who is actually the main character of the first one.
Yes, that.
Okay.
What I think Far Cry needs to do to bounce back is stop it with this numbered shit and just do so. Like they did the Blood Dragon, which was like the '80s, very action heavy expansion. They did Primal, which was the old school like dinos and Tusk and all that stuff. Just do that small stuff.
Primal was not a fan favorite.
Yeah, well, if you go back and look at the bones of Primal, a lot of what made 4 was in present. Like, it was basically the same map. They just reskinned the map, and like cut off the little pieces here and there. Call of Duty. I must see. That's kind of the point. Call of Duty's kind of run itself dry. Far Cry is a far cry from what it used to be. Pardon the pun.
I mean, Far Cry kind of reminds me of like a more complex Just Cause.
It reminds me a lot of what was the game on Mars where the world was very destructible.
Oh, Red Faction.
Reminds me a lot of those later Red Factions.
Jake, you are right. So Far Cry 2's villain is actually the hero from Far Cry 1.
Yep.
Yay. What do they say? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain of Far Cry 2.
Yes.
And what's funny is that not a lot of people knew that. It took them like a while to figure that out. I think I watched that on Game Ranks.
Yeah, they said it was a theory for the longest time, and then finally the director of Far Cry 2 was like, yeah, no, it's true.
I will say the shooting in these games feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Top notch. Top
Something
dog.
like that.
All right, let's get out of there. Enough of you, Far Cry.
Get off the island.
Get off the island. All right, you guys ready to move on to some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news. Spike Video Games Awards on December 7th through the 9th. I believe this was the Spike Awards that gave Game of the Year to Walking Dead Season 1.
That is correct, Nick. I was actually going to ask you guys. So, yes, that was Game of the Year. It beat out Assassin's Creed 3, Dishonored, Journey, and Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? Yeah. The only one that I'm like, maybe would have been not Mass Effect 3. What were the
Dishonored.
other two?
Assassin's Creed?
Dishonored, yeah. But they weren't
Dishonored, Assassin's Creed 3, and Journey, and I think Dishonored probably should have honestly won.
they were Dishonored.
So I'm going to run down through a couple of these real quick, and I want to get you guys' opinions just based on the year. If you can remember, if not, no big deal. Studio of the Year
For 2012?
for 2012.
Can you give us who was nominated?
So they nominated 343 Industries, Arcane Studios, Gearbox Software, and Telltale Games.
Probably Telltale.
It's got to be Telltale, right?
It is Telltale. Best Xbox 360 game, we had Borderlands 2, Halo 4, Assassin's Creed 3, and Dishonored.
I think they went Halo 4.
I think they went Borderlands.
They went Halo 4. Best PS3 game, we have Journey, Assassin's Creed 3, Borderlands 2, and Dishonored.
I think Journey got this one.
Journey got it.
Yeah.
Two more. Best Wii U game, we had The Last Story, New Super Mario Bros. U, Xenoblade Chronicles, and Zombie U.
I want to
That's a
say
tough
it's either Xenoblade or Super Mario.
I'm going to go Mario.
Mario is the winner. Last one, best PC game, Diablo 3, Guild Wars 2, XCOM Enemy Unknown, or Torchlight 2.
Fuck, that's tough.
I
It's a
want to
tough
say it was probably XCOM.
I'm thinking XCOM, but I'm thinking XCOM didn't really get its due. Like people weren't like, yeah, XCOM's back until like a few years later. So I'm gonna go Diablo 3.
It was XCOM.
Yeah, I knew it. Because usually when games have like different editions, they won something.
Fuck, I didn't know XCOM ate Diablo 3's lunch like that.
Yeah, Diablo 3 didn't. Well, Diablo 3 didn't become better until Reaper of Souls.
Right.
Okay, and then there's two more things I have to put out this one. One's gonna be one more thing they picked out, and then it's gonna be a statement. So I'm gonna do the pick out first. Best game of the decade: Batman: Arkham City, BioShock, Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, Mass Effect 2, Portal, Red Dead Redemption, Shadow of the Colossus, Wii Sports, World of Warcraft, or Half-Life 2.
I think they.
Of the
God damn.
decade?
They only gave it to one.
They only gave it to one.
I was gonna say it was Portal 2 if Portal 2 was an option. Because Portal 1 wasn't really a thing.
I would think they would give it to Half-Life 2 over Portal.
I want to say WoW.
Okay,
I'm gonna go. I was gonna say WoW, but I'm gonna be different and say Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2 won best game of the
Oh
decade.
man, Half-Life fans I can't stand.
Those physics, man, those physics.
Also, this is the last known Spike Video Game Awards. After this, they name it to I
VGAs.
think it's VGX for 1 year, and then that's the last we ever see of it. So VGX. Also, Samuel L. Jackson hosted it for the 4th time.
Good for him.
Yeah,
I liked it
I
when he
know,
hosted
yeah.
it. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was always fun when he was the host. And then Josh snuck this one in. December 17th through 19th, Mega Man franchise completes 25 years. Happy.
Okay, that's 25. And can you sit there and say that you had a running franchise that long?
Yeah.
Speaking of Mega Man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the Battle Network coming to Steam.
Dude, I'm going to buy that day one.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Now, speaking of old games that we used to play, did you guys see the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection?
No.
I did, but I didn't.
So it has all the old like side scroll beat 'em ups, but it also has the Turtles tournament fighting game that we had with online play.
Are you saying we need to buy it?
Maybe when it goes on sale. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I'm not paying for all those games when
I
only
mean,
want
at least
the
it's
one.
not like Ubisoft right now where they decided to bump up their AAA games to $70.
Or the fact that they're getting rid of all their old content.
IGN made an article about it, and I saw one of the comments was like, "Yeah, none of their games are worth $70."
Isn't everyone on that $70 trajectory right now?
So Sony started it with their shit.
Yeah,
And,
because
like-
Last of Us Part 1 is a $70 game right now.
Yeah. And now everybody else is like, well, they're not wrong. Inflation kicked. Yeah, inflation my ass, motherfuckers. You had this going on for how many years? Like, you can
Have
keep it
you-
at $60.
Have you ever noticed, like, if you like go to like say Walmart, Target, you know, any of those basic stores that have like a video game section, and you see games on their shelves that like are like full price or half their price, whatever. That same game you could get on Steam for like $10. Like,
Yeah.
who the hell is paying for that?
Parents who don't know what the fuck Steam is. They're like, Steam? Like in the shower? I don't
Like-
know.
Like, I swear, you could probably find. Okay, so Resident Evil Village probably came out a year ago, if not more.
Yeah,
you could probably
May
find
of
that
21.
game. You could probably find that game at like Walmart, full price still.
So-
I'll do you one better. Nick, go ahead, though. Keep talking.
So
while
it's
I'm pulling it up.
interesting watching these games hit $70 because I think we'll start to see the shift over to more like services like Game Pass. Because
Yeah.
I think Game Pass right now is what's keeping this current console generation afloat. And then like the few single AAA games that Sony has been putting out with Returnal, the Spider-Mans and whatnot. But yeah, $70, it's a lot to swallow. A parent is going to go in to buy a game, and like if there's someone in Target there to like talk them through stuff, they'll be like, well, hey, if your son has a game, or son or daughter has a game or an Xbox, here's this Game Pass thing, $10 a month, all the games they want. Like parents who have no idea what they're doing drive this industry. I don't know if people know that.
No, they do.
Like there's certain things where I'm just like, if the game has a bunch of replayability, sure, you know. But like a lot of like games, they like, especially like just games that are just story mode, which I know a lot of games nowadays you have to have online to play. You have to have internet. If you don't have internet, I don't know where are you at? Like,
Yeah, you're in trouble.
everyone nowadays has a smartphone. Everyone has internet. Like there's no way you don't have internet. Anyway,
I know we're only talking old news, but let me bring up some new news real quick. Did you guys see the GTA 6 leaks today?
Yes, I did.
yeah, some people are like upset about it because
It sucks for the devs because they've been
Yeah.
working on that and they want to reveal it the way they want to reveal it. And I hate leakers. I really hate leakers. Like
I do too.
I hate that whole aspect of people chasing clout by leaking stuff and being accurate. Like that's the least, like when it comes to journalism, that's just like, what the fuck is your problem? I did see
Yeah.
the video. I forgive me, I have sinned. I saw some of the video.
I watched the whole thing.
I only watched like the restaurant, the diner robbery that looks like it's from Pulp Fiction. I'm already sold on the game, guys.
So Well, that's the funny thing is, I think ever since the leak came up. So I remember when they were talking about like that they were starting development, and people were like, "Oh, we want to see a female lead character," and they were losing their minds. And like all of a sudden, people were like, "No, you're just trying to chase clout and all this." And now that that's released, I'm seeing all these people go, "Oh man!" The same people who are like, "Oh, girls being main character," like they're flipped it. They're like, "Oh man, this is gonna be so good." And literally, the meme that they're going with is they look at her ass and she looks thick. So like that's the reason why they're like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Gamers are fucking sick motherfuckers. Who knew? Who
I
fucking
mean, and,
knew?
like, look what happened to like Battlefield 5?
Was that
they
the one
had
with,
that-
with
the
the main female protagonist?
Yeah, like how that kind of went downhill.
Well,
That
I
and it,
didn't have the main lead female. It just there's multiple stories, and one of the stories followed a girl.
Well, that
Well, what
issue
did-
goes back to the thing I've talked about on this show before is you have like games like that, you don't get those characters. You don't get those women, you don't get those lead females. So then when you do, if they are not good, they stand out like a sore thumb. So when that decision comes around again for Call of Duty Vanguard 2 and they're like, I don't think we should do it. That one didn't do so well. Well, that's the only one we have to go off of.
Yeah.
well, another thing that didn't help was that the people behind Battlefield 5 didn't have good comments when people were complaining about it. I think they said something that the crowd didn't like, and that's another thing that kind of like
they were like,
destroyed.
was someone saying something sexist and they're like, deal with it, gamers.
Exactly. It was one of those. It was one of those. They were just
honestly,
like, yeah,
I
we're
don't
gonna
know-
do what we want.
I don't know the full context of the argument, so I can't say it, but I think that's like if someone's saying something sexist, you don't have to meet them at their level. Just be like, hey, shut up, get out of here, dipshit.
No, because those people try to argue like historical accuracy. Well, yeah, technically you might be right, but guess what? No one fucking jumped from one train to a fucking another going at 200 miles per hour in the one direction. Like that's the likelihood of that happening then is impossible.
You know what you say to the motherfuckers who are like, this woman can't be fighting this war, historical accuracy. That's when you say, your fucking marshmallow ass ain't fighting this fucking war. You're sitting on the couch. Shut the fuck up.
And even then, like shit, women were doing some of the more difficult shit, like acting as spies or fucking dealing with bleeding ass people. Like, dude, chill the fuck out. Women were badass back in the day. They can still do this shit.
Gamers are sexist. More details at 10.
Majority of them.
More details at 10. Breaking news at this hour. We've just discovered.
I don't think that's breaking news.
I don't think that's breaking news at all.
I think that's more like touch grass, as the kids say.
As the kids say. Jake, you have a meme for us, don't you?
I have a couple. Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah, buddy.
Me.
Time. All right, Jake, build this for us.
I mean, I'm not a good Hank Hill kind of guy. I can't really do the Hank Hill voice.
Do the Hank and the Bobby. So this is a meme from Hank Hill involving Resident Evil. Go ahead, Jake.
All right, I'll do my best. Light on the run and gun action, but every enemy encounter is nerve-wracking. Yep, this is well-designed Resident Evil game. What if somebody like Resident Evil 6? Well, you ask them kindly but firmly to leave.
That was pretty good, Jake. You get applause on that one. Let's see what's next.
All right. Let's see. We got Resident Evil 6. They have these great cubic phones. They're still using these dumbass VHS tapes. Like, what is this?
And they're in 7 also. The VHSs.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. How many we got? We got one more.
Are we skipping the last one?
No. I don't think we can use that one.
Well, we could do the one before that. It's not anything to do with Resident Evil 6, but it's just ironically funny.
I just saw. I mean, these two were kind of just stuck together, but they're separate memes. But someone just kind of glued them together. But you know, Leon, Ashley Young for Leon is so damn annoying.
Oh yeah.
And then, and then you got there's a round hole, but maybe something fits here. Round holes, something fits.
Hey, he wasn't hired because of his brains, damn it. He was hired because he can get shit done.
Dude, he was a rookie on the job first day. Come on.
There's only one reason the president trusted him with his daughter, all right?
I mean,
this Leon guy doesn't know how to fill a round hole, so my daughter's safe.
No wonder Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City portrayed Leon to be a dumbass. I mean, shit like that.
Fucking welcome to New Raccoon City. They were naming that city, and someone was like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe guys, guys, no, no." Okay, so we have a speed cap to do. Jake is going to be doing sleeping dogs. We're going to go get that set up. We will be right back after this. All right, and we're back. All right, we are doing a speed cap. Jake is going to be doing sleeping dogs. If this is your first speed cap, basically the person doing the speed cap has 5 minutes to run through the synopsis, while the taskmaster has made a list of 10 things for that person to cover. If the person covers a thing, they earn the points towards that thing. Jake is trying to score 30 points. If he scores 30 points, we've decided this week's award gets to pick next week's topic for the episode. Yes, after we finish a year, we are now doing off-topic episodes. Everybody rejoice. It's going to be fun. Jake, if you hit 30 points or more, what is next week's episode going to be about?
We're going to be talking about Arcane, Nick. You're going to have to deal with it.
Son of a bitch.
You thought I was going to go Cobra Kai.
All right, well, you know what? You know what then? If I win next week, because Jake scores under 30 points, we'll talk about Cobra Kai. Netflix's Cobra Kai.
I feel like it's a win-win.
It's a win-win either way. So, Jake, I have picked out my 10 things. If you're playing along at home, I have a PDF in the show notes. Go ahead and click that. Do not do that if you're driving, though, you silly sons of bitches. All right.
Any tips?
So I don't have a history with this game. I probably did the same thing you did and hopped on Wikipedia.
Did you do a little bit everything was the?
I didn't focus. There's no
story?
gameplay focus. This is very story focused. So give me the who's, the wins, the where's, the what's. That's going to be the most important thing.
I mean, I had some Easter eggs, but
I did not go that far into the Easter eggs, Jake. I didn't touch them. So there's your hints.
For example, did you know Emma Stone voice acted in it?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that Brie Larson is voicing a character in the new season of Fortnite? Random fun fact.
Fun fact. That's
all right.
What we're about.
So, I'm gonna hit the button when it counts down to 5 flat. That's when your time will start. Jake, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Godspeed, Jacob. Godspeed.
Yeehaw. Okay, so this game was actually published by Square Enix, who bought the publishing rights to Activision. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But they had to change the name because they didn't purchase the True Crime IP. So that's interesting. But another thing about it was that the game started off at Treyarch, and it was named Black Lotus. But yeah, that kind of fell through because they were trying to focus on Call of Duty. So there's that. So the game takes place in Hong Kong. It starts in the game just starts in Victoria Harbor, where you play as an undercover cop. Your name is Wei Shin, and I'm gonna butcher some of these names. So some of these names kind of they're kind of funny. Like, for example, there's a person on here named Winston Chu. Come on. So you're an undercover cop and you get arrested after a drug deal goes bad. But when you're thrown in jail, you meet your childhood friend, Jackie Ma, who offers Wei Shin you to join a gang after they were released. After that, you meet with your superiors, Superintendent Thomas Pendrew. I think it's Pendrew. And he basically just tells you, hey, you need to get your shit together and go investigate these gangs. Well, the gang that you go to is the Water Street gang. And you need to prove your loyalty to the gang. So you're sent off to do various missions against the rivals, the Dog Eyes. And, no, the guy's name is Dog Eyes. It's the Jade Gang. Dog Eyes is the leader of the Jade Gang. And during one of the missions, you're arrested again, but by an inspector named Jane. But your superior, Pendrew, does bail him out to affirm that he is an undercover cop. So now the inspector knows that he's an undercover cop. So you're just doing missions, trying to take out rival gangs to still, prove your loyalty to the Water Dogs, the Water Street Gang, not Water Dogs. But you come across, you meet like different various characters in the game. So like there's a guy named Uncle Po, guy named Shu-Wa. Hell, there's a gang called the 18K, which I think that's kind of a cool gang name, 18K. I don't know why they're called 18K. But there's a point in the game where you capture Dog Eyes, and Dog Eyes is being interrogated by what's her name? Jang, Aunt Jang, and basically kill him, dismember him, and all that stuff. But later you find out that your superior, because you get a package from Aunt Jang, and the package is addressed to you, revealing the knowledge of his undercover identity. And it contains a video of your superior, Pindru, killing Uncle Po at the hospital. And Po reveals that he has made a deal with Pindru in the past to further his career in exchange for allowing another gang to continue operation. I think that gang was called something Sun. Like, I don't know. But after that, you throw your superior in jail, and knowing that he will not survive because of all of the
1 minute, Jake.
other people that he put into jail before to further his career, you knew he wasn't going to live. But later, your guys seen... what was it? You guys seen conversing with what's his name? I think that's it. Kind of just doesn't like go far after that, but that's kind of the end of the game. You kind of just, that's it. He throws his superior in jail, knowing that he's not going to live long. So basically, it's your typical, your boss is the bad guy.
The boss
they
is
do have
always the bad
DLC. Yeah, boss is always a bad guy. They did have DLC, but it wasn't really like big.
5, 4,
It was just for
3,
when you pre-order.
2,
You got
1.
skins and shit.
Time's up. Your time is up. No more talking. We've never had anyone run out of time. Put this in the history books. It's the first time anyone's used all their time for a speed cap.
But I'm gonna guess Jake beat you. So
Jake,
got really detailed in there.
Jake, your final score was 32.5.
Cool.
How did we get there, you ask? Sit down. I'll fucking tell you. All right. Like I said, I didn't get buried in the details, Jake. First, set in Hong Kong, full points. Wai Sen, yep, that's who you are. You're an undercover cop. You call it the Water Street branch of Triad Organization. You said son of something. It was son of Yi, so I'm only giving you half a point for that one. Winston Chu, you pointed him out. Rival Triad branch known as Jade Gang. I gave you the points for that. You catch Dog Eyes eventually, but one of the main missions you do is you get Suwa, which is one of Dog Eyes' drug dealers, and you mentioned Suwa, so I gave you points for that. Once at some point in the game, Winston Chu dies, and you get promoted to Red Pole, which is basically head of the gang. You did not mention that, so I did not give you points. You mentioned Jackie Ma, who Jackie Ma was the one who was dismembered. They used Jackie Ma's phone to lure him into a trap, and you get there, and Jackie Ma's hanging and just like, ugh, it's disgusting. And then Henry Lee, you did not mention Henry Lee. But Jake, you son of a bitch, we're talking about Arcane next week.
Yeah,
So wait,
go start watching.
time out. Am I the only one who hasn't seen Arcane?
No, I haven't seen it either, so I'll have to watch it too.
Okay, so yeah. If we both don't watch it, Jake, this is going to be a one-sided podcast next week.
Yeah, it's only 10 episodes, I believe.
I do like these little breaks we're giving ourselves though. Instead of like just jumping into the next year, gives Josh a little time to recharge his brain to get ready for
I'll get my
Q1.
picks for Q1 of 2013. So.
Oh yeah, we'll do that right after. We'll do that right after this.
Yeah,
Don't show them the cow, or they won't buy the milk, Josh. Don't do it. All
I
right,
mean,
everybody.
I don't have to look up videos from Deluxe 345, which I appreciate. Deluxe 345.
Shout out, buddy. You and all them games, man. You got a lot of video games. Deluxe 345.
Hey, he's the real homie. He's the real MVP, guys. Because I can't tell you how many videos I look up and it's someone going, "Hey guys, it's Rad over here. We're about to play some Mass Effect 5. It's a really great game if you haven't played it." Seriously, it's fucking awful. I just cringe.
There's
every
a
time
reason
I hear
no
it.
commentary is a very popular search term.
I say his name because he's literally the first. The first couple of videos I looked up for this year, and he's been continuously coming up, and it's like Rad Brad. I'm like, oh, dude, you're just stop. Like
Rad Brad.
no, Rad Brad.
Rad Brad.
No, what I hate is those people doing like the video game like Let's Plays or whatever. But it's like, but before we get there, here's a word from our sponsor. But before we get there, like, oh, someone just try too hard.
Oh, he did The Last of Us Part 1. Oh, no. Hi, guys. I'm here to play The Last of Us Part 1. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like and submit below. No, I'm good. I'm not going to do any of that.
He literally would start up and like go right to his opinion, and I'm like, yeah, this is when you lost your fans, buddy. Like, I don't know who's watching you, but no.
Yeah, he hops on the video. You know, I really don't like that they redid Ellie to make her actually look like she was 12. I thought she was like, no, no. Did you see some of that going around the internet when it was announced? Yeah, it was bad.
Like, that's like, yeah.
Internet's disgusting. Everybody, I'm Nick. You can find me on the Twitter at that Kaufman. That's where I do a lot of my tweeting, not so much on Nick Fat Night anymore. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Nick Fat Night. I'm actually going to start doing video reviews soon. Been doing some capping, so it's about time to get to putting those up. And yeah, I'm not on anything else besides those. Jake, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook Gaming, Bebo, MySpace, Photo Bucket, Tumblr. Yeah, Photo Bucket.
It's a deep cut right there. Is your
Tumblr,
Bebo still active?
I don't think Bebo's around anymore. I tried.
I don't think it is either.
Josh, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at I am Josh Sang. I'm Josh Sang was taken.
It is Josh Sang. And you can find the podcast on any of those socials, the Instagrams, the Twitters. We're on TikTok. Jake needs to make a new TikTok.
Hey, I'm busy.
He's been a busy girl lately. As always, thank you to our family of podcasts at the Trident Network. Also, thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for Hunt Him Down, our intro and outro song. I haven't mentioned it in a few weeks, but it has been in the show notes, damn it. It's been in the show notes.
I totally didn't think. I thought you always mentioned it. That's why I was like, wait, really?
I still haven't watched any.
I was listening to an old one, and I was like, oh, wow, I didn't shout Alex out. So I wanted to make sure I got Alex a shout out today. Everybody, this has been Smashing Game Time. I hope you had a smashing great time. We will see you next time.